guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're finally with you guys with the Sopranos.
Yes.
First episode from first season.
So we've been talking on and off on many platforms about watching this show. Ever since we knew about the Sopranos, we heard about this. It's huge, it's very popular, and if it wasn't for the Sopranos, we would never have had Breaking Bad, so this is pretty cool. And people mentioned this when we watched Breaking Bad, and we've been saying for years now that we were gonna watch it. So finally, with the new year, we decided this is the time.
It is fine. It is time.
Okay, so I'm very excited. I did not look up anything. Our father knows about the show. We told him not to tell us anything.
I'm surprised.
Why? I mean, it's a popular show.
Now that our father knows about Sopranos.
Yeah, he doesn't watch TV much. But I want to see a good show. I want to see where Breaking Bad came from. But still, I want to see how it's its own thing, how it led to such popularity. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know nothing about this show except I think...
It's about the mafia.
It's about the mafia. Yeah, I think it's about the mafia. It's an Italian family. And that's, yeah. Let's jump in this first episode right away. You've waited long enough and see what it's about. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys, if you want to see more of these episodes. As usual, we will have 2 episodes in advance on Patreon, and the full-length reaction will also be available on there. The link will be in the description below. So, first episode, let's go! Yeah.
When did this air out? Do you know?
I don't remember. Early 2000? Yeah, the World Trade Center was still there, so more end of the 90s. Are you feeling judged?
Mr. Soprano?
Yeah.
The clothes are definitely 90s. Is it about to be a confession? Let me bring you back to the beginning.
You collapsed. Possibly a panic attack?
They said it was a panic attack. Of course, all the blood work and the neurological work came back negative.
Would you see that if it was a panic attack?
Any thoughts at all on why you blacked out?
Stress, maybe. The morning of the day I got sick, I've been thinking. I think about my father. He never reached heights like me. But in a lot of ways, he had it better. He had his people. They had their standards. They had pride. Today, what do we got? A couple months before, there's these 2 wild ducks landing on my pool. They're from Canada or someplace. It was mating season.
At least they're not Canadian goose.
Run for your life. If they were. It happened to our grandma in Canada.
She recorded it.
Listen, if you don't like that ramp, I'll build you another one. Maybe it's the wood.
I'm gonna make you enough for you won't refuse.
Hey, kids, come here. Come here, I'm trying to fly.
It's cool to have passions. Maybe he needs this.
National Geographic showed us yesterday.
It's great!
We came, we saw, then we left.
So cool you're gonna be able to come to Aspen with my family at Christmas. Last year at Aspen, I saw Skeet Ulrich.
You keep your school grades up and you keep your curfew between now and Christmas. Then you get to go.
I know that.
So this was probably after Scream 1. Not long after. I don't know if Skeet was known before Scream.
You're gonna be home tonight for Anthony Jr.'s birthday party, right?
He's got a whole ass book.
Birdman.
Yeah, I got home early from work. I drove to work with my nephew. He's learning a business. Now, he's an example of what I was talking about before.
No sense of responsibility. Not realizing he's got it all, and he's not making efforts.
We saw this guy, and there was this issue of an outstanding loan.
Can I stop you for a second? If I was to hear, let's say, a murder was to take place, not that I'm saying it would, but if.
It sounds like it's going there.
I'm supposed to go to the authorities, technically.
So after I met the guy, we jumped straight to the end.
We gently told him about his loan.
I don't know what happened with this fellow. I'm just saying.
We had coffee.
I'll have to do it myself.
Fine, I'll do it myself. The music is giving like normal Tuesday, you know?
For him, probably. I don't want to hurt you.
I just want to talk.
He's broken, the bone's coming through.
You prick!
So you had coffee.
Right.
A strong one.
Yeah.
Should get a cork in your fucking mouth because you tell people I'm nothing compared to the people that used to run. Prick!
If it were with today's time, everyone would be with their phone recording everything.
But then do you really want to record this knowing he could go after you after?
There's also that.
So he took things over recently. He needs to prove himself. Sounds like that.
The situation came up. It involves my uncle. I can't go into details on this one.
That's fine.
She doesn't want to learn anything.
My uncle adds to my general stress level. Word is, your Uncle Junior is gonna whack Pussy Malanga. He's gonna do it at your friend Artie Bucco's restaurant. You know what it means for Arthur? One of these old monks gets wet in here? Doing his business. You better sit down with your uncle. I love my uncle. At the same time, when I was young, he told my girl cousins I would never be a varsity athlete, and frankly, that was a tremendous blow to my self-esteem.
Well, did you? Still sucks to, that he tells that to people. So it's a love and hate relationship with them. He loves them,
Family.
but yeah, family. It's best to say it like that.
Family.
You locked the door after you?
Yeah, I did.
Somebody called you last night after dark.
Oh,
You think I'd answer? It was dark out.
I can understand not going out after dark. He get jumped in the shadows, whatever. But not answering the phone after dark?
Oh, listen to him. He knows everything.
Maybe she got paranoid if his father was doing the same job.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Uncle June, remember Artie Bucco?
Oh, yeah, I still see his mother.
Uncle June's gonna make a problem for Artie. Could affect his livelihood. You just speak to Uncle Junior about Artie, okay?
If your uncle has business with Arthur, he knows what he's doing.
And I don't.
All I know is daughters are better at taking care of their mothers than sons.
Yeah, and I bought CDs for a broken record.
She really strikes me as a bit paranoid, like on the safe side.
My wife invites the priest. He's always at the house.
She's not coming. Grandma just called, started crying and hung up. So what, no fucking ZD now? Hey!
Language.
Not until you're 14. What if the ducks die? Or they leave and never come back?
At first it felt like ginger ale in my skull.
Goddamn. Happy birthday. Maybe it's because it's his own calming thing that went away, that freaked him out.
Who do you think you are?
I'm the person who says how things go. That's who I think I am. Artie's dinner business is nice, upscale people from the suburbs. Don't ruin his life.
Vesuvio is where pussy feels safe.
He'll kill him someplace else.
You may run North Jersey, but you don't run your Uncle Junior. How many fucking hours did I spend playing catch with you?
Yeah, but he's gotta look out for his people.
Darn, these laser discs are incredible.
He really is here all the time. God damn.
What do you have, raccoons?
Her mom senses are tingling.
Oh no.
Oh,
Jeez
shit.
Louise.
Meadow.
You gotta be, ready for this sort of
I
thing.
notice
Who
the glass
knows?
bottles every time I walk to the laundry room. Do we have any putty?
You snuck out. You have become a master of lying and conniving.
Yeah, I know I'm grounded.
Which I love, but not with your family.
Grounded? You're not going to Aspen with Hunter Scangarello. That's where you're not going. Yes.
Yes.
Didn't you admit to Dr. Cusimano that you were feeling depressed?
His ducks went away.
Nowadays, everybody's got to go to shrinks, and talk about their problems. Whatever happened to Gary Cooper? The strong, silent type.
With a lot of issues.
He wasn't in touch with his feelings. He just did what he had to do. Could I be happier? Yeah. Who couldn't?
Do you feel depressed?
I think yes. It's hard to admit it.
It's a honest question.
Since the ducks left.
Let's talk about them.
His one source of calm and normality. We don't go there.
There's beauty in nature, like they said.
When his day-to-day life is this, the ducks would be a source of serenity. And when they left, it's like back to the shit.
You've come back for help.
Oh, she's part of that generation that grew up during the Depression. But the Depression to her was a trip to Six Flags.
There's that D word again.
Now that my father's dead, he's a saint. When he was alive, nothing. And my dad was tough. He ran his own crew. Guy like that, and my mother wore him down to a little nub.
quite a formidable maternal presence.
I'm not getting any satisfaction from my work either.
Do you have any qualms about how you actually make a living?
Yeah. I find I have to be the sad clown, laughing on the outside, crying on the inside. Things are trending downward. Used to be a guy got pinched, he took his prison joke no matter what. Everybody upheld the code of silence. Nowadays, no values.
You did say that things had changed.
So everybody turns government witness. I feel exhausted just talking about it.
With today's pharmacology, no one needs to suffer.
Here comes the Prozac.
Do you want help or do you not want help? The other solution would be to change what makes you depressed, but will you do that?
I hear the Junior wants to whack Pussy Bumpin' Pussy Malanga. A little pussy.
There's a lot of...
Your uncle resents that you're the boss. Your uncle's had a hard on his whole life. First against your father, because he was a made man before him. And now, you can't stomach you're telling him what to do. I love the man. Man is driven in toto by his insecurities. Your friend, Artie, with the restaurant. Get him out of town for 3 weeks. That way the restaurant closes. Then he has to go down someplace else.
Not bad.
Hey, when's the last time you got away? Took a little vacation? Thank you. All right.
Leave.
Mr. Soprano.
If things are going well, he's not gonna come back. But I'm pretty sure we'll be back on that couch soon.
Soon? Yeah.
No fucking way everything goes well.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore, please.
We have to get away for the marriage.
No, it's bad enough that these mobsters still come in and patronize the place, okay?
If you don't go, it's gonna be worse.
But the tickets were comps. Tony is a labor leader.
Arthur, please, grow up. Somebody donated their kneecaps for those tickets.
And be more than a knee.
There's no way.
No, yeah, just a kneecap.
Hey!
He'd be keeping that real low. He would not want people to know he's on those drugs.
Imagine.
It's a sign of weakness.
You all right?
It's gonna be right back to the psychologist.
Again. What are you talking about? You gotta leave town. I'm sorry.
Be more pressing.
A few moments later.
Come on, it's JFK Center. What a dead order. Give me that.
Jesus.
That's not his wife. Well, they talked about how he was cheating before, so he said it was over, but obviously not. And the whole her and priest relationship doesn't seem to be chill, like easy either. They are broken, dysfunctional.
Something I gotta confess. What are you doing?
Getting my wine in position to throw in your damn face.
You're always with the drama.
Get it over with.
I'm on Prozac.
Oh, there you go.
I've been seeing a therapist.
I think that's great.
Yeah?
I think that's so wonderful. I think that's so gutsy.
To him, it's not.
You're the only person who knows. And you're the only person on this planet that I'm completely and totally honest with.
Oh, please.
No, she knows he's not.
The wrong person finds out about this and I get a steel jacket after the person right in the back of the head.
You don't want to seem weak.
He can't, he's in charge. This probably adds to the stress.
I had a dream last night. My belly button was a Phillips head screw, and I'm working on unscrewing it. And when I get it unscrewed, my penis falls off.
Now, how do you interpret that?
You feel powerless?
And this bird swoops down, and grabs it in its beak, and flies off with it.
What kind of bird?
A duck.
What about ducks?
PTSD.
What is it about those ducks that meant so much to you?
I don't know, it was just a trip having those wild creatures come into my pool and have their little babies.
It was innocent. They trust him enough to have the babies in his pool.
When the ducks gave birth to those babies, it became a family.
He's comparing it to his, maybe?
Could be.
How simple he wishes it could be.
I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my family. I think I lost a duck. That's what I'm full of dread about. It's always with me.
What are you so afraid's going to happen?
In his business, anything. I think the comparison to them leaving with his dick is like they left with a part of him that he valued. So basically, what made him strong in his mind.
Well,
Enough of this shit. What's wrong with you?
You know, a simple way to go, Chris, on the Triborough Towers contract would have been nice.
You're right. I have no defense. That's how I was parented. Never supported. Never complimented.
You know, my cousin Gregory's girlfriend, she said I could sell my life story, make fucking millions. I didn't do that. I stuck it out with you.
I'll fucking kill you. How many mobsters are selling screenplays and screwing everything up?
She said I could maybe even play myself.
You'd probably end up in jail, just saying.
Just in jail?
Forget Hollywood screenplays. Forget those distractions. We got work to do. Everything's gonna be all right from here on in.
It's episode 1.
Sir, I think you're lying to yourself.
What could be bad? Everything.
Lots of things are different now from Johnny's in my day.
What do you mean? I'm not free to run my business like I want.
Just this week, your son stuck his hand in, made it 100 times more difficult for me. Plus, he thumbs his nose at New York.
He's part of a whole generation.
A lot of friends of ours are complaining. We used to be recession-proof. No more. You can't blame it all on the Justice Department. Our friends say to me, why don't you take a larger hand in things? Something may have to be done, Olivia. About Tony.
I don't know.
You're trying to play a game, man. I really don't like this. I just get the scene from Godfather, like, you betrayed me, brother. Can we have a duck back?
The beast in me.
No.
They left.
Well,
Okay. That went fast.
That was episode 1. There was a lot of information. So, give me time. Again, I said it with every show. Give me time to learn all the names. For a while, it's going to be the uncle, the cousin, the whatever, the nephew.
Well, you got Tony
Yeah,
Soprano,
Tony I remember.
Carmela Soprano,
Yeah.
Junior Soprano.
I remember her
Meadow
more
Soprano.
because I remember the wife's name more because it reminds me of Karami from Adam's
Karami?
Family. Adam's Family.
Okay.
So it's the link I made in my mind. Like, okay, she's named like that. So if I miss it up, it's because I remember the other one.
I'm
But
confused and call her Carmen, maybe.
so throughout the first episode, I was trying to see what the general message could be, at least for season 1, if not for the entire show. It seems to be heavily on how a whole generation was about to change, how the world was going to change, how men, especially, at least in this episode, were going to view this idea that now it's okay to open up, it's okay to talk about your feelings, it's okay to want to feel better. Because before, like our dad, his dad, and our family especially, the whole point was to keep it inside and not complain.
Toughen up.
Toughen up, exactly. Yeah. And I feel like in this business, it would be even more important to toughen up. Don't look like you're weak. Don't look like you could break and sell your friends or stuff. Like, basically, if you have a problem with what's happening, keep it for yourself, because the job is hard, what you go through is hard, but you as a human will be feeling all of this, the stress, the trauma, maybe, like this need for some of them, the need to be told like you're doing a good job. Like, all those feelings are validated to me, but not to them. Like, they need to express them more, and they need to come to terms with the fact that they are human.
I said earlier that when he told his wife that he was on medication for Prozac, he said, don't tell anyone because I'm gonna have a gun at my head. Because being on medication, asking for help with what you're going through is perceived as weak.
And even more than that,
it's not a weakness, but it's so sad and bad that people might think that, you know.
On the feelings level, yes, and even more than that, if you go to a therapist to talk, they could be wondering, what are you gonna say? Yeah. Like, he talked about how back in the day people would go to jail, take their sentences, do it without complaining, and then come out and resume the job. And nowadays everyone is becoming a rat, everyone is becoming an informant. He being in charge and his family being involved, that will stress him out a lot. He is afraid that his whole enterprise, his whole family are gonna get hit bad because things are changing. I think he feels like he's losing control.
Yeah.
He's trying to prepare the next generation, and his nephew is doing stuff on his own. He's basically not up to the part. We'll see how he evolves, but right now, from the vibe I got, he's not really good.
No, from what I saw, I think that he's doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Just killing.
And he don't think about what consequences those actions will bring, you know?
And not, like, that's the thing, like, on him, that's one thing, but since he's the nephew of the Don, it also reflects on the Don and his family, everything, and family's so fucking important. It's an Italian family. Family would be number one priority, and if it's a family business, it's
worse.
They are all involved in one way or the other. No wonder that they are so dysfunctional. Like, they live with this secret, they live with this understanding that this is the job, this is what they do, so they would be paranoid. Like, I look at the mom and this is how I think, like, yeah, this is probably years and years of living in this environment of fearing that someone would stab you in the back, shoot you in the head if you go out at night, or if someone calls you after dark, it's probably someone threatening you, or it's something ominous. Like, it looks like she's over the top paranoid, and if she was not a part of this family, I'd be thinking, oh, she's old. I know our grandma, when our grandfather died, she could not stay alone in her house. She was afraid someone was going to break in. It's like you're losing this strong
sense of security.
Well, it's older generations, like women from back in the day, that would rely, for her grandma, I feel like it's like she would rely on her husband so much. She expected him to take care of things. She expected him to protect her, and losing that made her afraid that she would no longer be able to do those things or protect herself if things happen. So I think she slept with a knife under her pillow or something, like, or close to her bed. It got really bad, so that's when she moved to a retirement home. So I get that vibe from his mom. But on top of that, she has also the knowledge of the business the family is into, and that would mean a lot of enemies. That would mean the possibility of cops getting on them. Like, they probably have a lot of power already, so they are still, like, they are in New Jersey, right? So it's not New York, but still, they probably have ways so the cops don't get to them. Like, the reason why they can beat a guy up in daylight in front of people, like, they don't really fear consequences. Like, they know what they have, they know how to protect themselves, but still, but there's always the chance that something is going to go wrong from outside or from inside. That uncle of his is scaring me a little bit because he's insinuating a lot of shit, and he's discontent. Like, he doesn't like his situation.
It is said that something might be done about the nephew.
He said something would probably have to be done, but he was also implying that, he's looking towards New York, so that means playing the bigger field. He's saying, like, he can't handle this business. Like, people are talking behind his back, telling shit to him. That, for a woman who's already paranoid, that would throw her, like, over the top. Like, she would go crazy with this. I'm wondering if the plan, because he kept looking at her sideways, I'm wondering if the plan is for her to tell him about that, and hoping that will scare him. Like, if it doesn't come from him, it won't sound like a threat from him. It will just sound like, oh, there are rumors and stuff, and maybe he'll change his way, or I don't know. But then again, I'm also wondering, like, doing that, if she talks to Tony, we could get to a situation where, despite him loving his uncle, he might just decide that it's not worth keeping him around, I don't know. It's episode 1. I don't know what he's capable of yet, but we'll see. When it comes to family, it could be different. With the guy, he loves him, but he also, like, there's a love and hate relationship going on with him.
If I recall, The Godfather second movie or first one?
I don't know.
No, first one. When he took charge, he had to get rid of his brother.
That was second.
In the second movie, he had to get rid of his brother because he couldn't get the job done. He was problematic. So I'm not above the fact that he might do the same thing with his uncle if his uncle become too much of a burden.
And it all comes down to, what do you value most? What do you want to protect most? And who's putting that in danger? Because if his situation changes and if people go after him somehow, his family would also be a target. And just in this first episode, his friend was at risk, and he had to blow up his restaurant to keep him going, because otherwise his reputation would have been shot, because his uncle was not listening. So that's if you go after, it wasn't going after his friend per se, but he put his friend in danger when it comes to his business, and he acted. So he did not let his uncle do his thing. What if it escalates and it goes towards threatening the family? I don't know. Apparently the uncle has been talking shit back in the day too, because he was mad that his brother got the name and the power before him. So he's a guy that he's a loser compared to the others. I feel like he feels like a loser. He feels like he was meant for more and he never really managed to get that prestige, and now he's being told what to do by his younger nephew, his nephew who's like maybe in his mind didn't earn this, because that's another thing. I don't know when his father died, but if he made this his business, like if he built it from nothing, he would have the respect of the people that follow him. If Tony inherited the business, if he got his father's place because he's his son,
people might think that he does not deserve the place, basically.
So I have the feeling maybe in this episode that he was trying really hard to prove himself by, I guess he's good, like he's trying to let the others, do their thing a little bit, but when he has to get involved, he does his thing. Except with the new generation, he might be losing control here and there, and that's tough and that's difficult, because if he's in charge and he needs to prove himself, that's going to fall on him. Especially if people already have doubts, the older generation, the ones that don't say shit. But it's going to be interesting. I feel like we're going to talk a lot about both the business and the emotional side of the whole thing, the human side of it.
What did you think about the dream that he had and he told to the psychiatrist? The fact that his dick fell off and the duck flew with it away.
At first I saw the ducks as a representation, and I mean it's still a bit of that, but it's a representation of calm, peaceful moment, innocent creatures, stuff he wanted to protect, stuff he wanted to enjoy.
Everything that his business is not.
Yeah, a moment of calm serenity that he could enjoy, and that before he went back to the problems, the realization that things are changing. He himself is facing a wall with the whole, he needs to talk about what he's going through. He needs to talk about his feelings because he feels like shit. But when he does that, he feels like shit because it's like a weakness. So he's at odds with himself, and those ducks gave him peace. If you compare them to his family, it's you go even deeper. So on top of the peaceful serenity, just beautiful scene that he had in front of him, he's also seeing what he would wish he'd have with his family, a peaceful moment where they all can be together, enjoy life together. And when those ducks left, it's kind of the realization that this could happen. With everything that could go wrong, this is a job that, one day you're alive, one day you could be dead. And the show being called The Sopranos, it's definitely about the family. It's the realization that tomorrow his kids could get killed, his wife could leave him, they already have problems. Apparently he's cheating, and she is really close to that priest. She says it's because he helps her be a better Christian. It's a soul thing that she's doing, and she really enjoyed him making moves towards, having a better mental health. But she was saying it's still not, it doesn't help your soul, but it's still a good step. But to have the priest over at night to watch movies, I'm wondering,
come on, they're
besties.
The first time that I'm not gonna say anything, but the first time that I saw the priest, and my mind I say he might be gay. I don't know why, but it gave me that vibe.
So they might be that's a lot besties. Of why. What did you see that made you think?
I don't know, just the way that he moved, but I don't know. That's just the first impression that I got. I might be really, really, really wrong about it though.
Yeah, we'll see. But to him, no matter what happens, what goes on, if he knows he's cheating and their relationship has not been going well, to see her hanging out with another guy, even if he's a priest and stuff, that would give him a lot of insecurities, wondering if he's going to lose his wife. His son, I didn't see anything from him, but his mother is giving him hell. His daughter is giving her mom hell. She's a teenager. She wants to do her thing. She lives in a family that constantly breaks the rules and does its own thing. So no wonder she has an attitude. And she wants to be free. Her mom would, she tried to sneak out. This is one thing. Well, she did sneak out, and then she tried to come back in. Yes, that would push the mom to ground her, I guess. But if you see the unfairness of why am I being grounded for doing what I want when you guys can do whatever and you don't give a shit, I could see that. But she's a teenager, she's gonna rebel, and we'll see where that goes. But basically it's fighting, it's no trust, fear of losing them, and the mom is giving him hell because he knows she would be better surrounded by people. Like, she needs to get out of the house. She needs to have a social life. She needs to live a little because she is losing herself in that moment. She used to be a strong woman who, like, I think he had, I want to see more about his relationship with his father, but the way he talked about his mom and his dad, I almost wondered if he hated his mom and loved his dad, or if he respected his mom for putting his dad, you know, through a lot of shit. Like, it depends on how he related to his father.
Once again, I might be wrong, but maybe his father was not a good man.
He did say he never got complimented. He never got told you do a good job and, and I love you.
And the fact that since his dad, for his mom at least, his father became a saint. He could have done nothing wrong. He was all perfect in every sense of way, you know.
It could be, it's more, I think it could be more complex than just I hate one, I love the other. With his father, I feel like he has no other choice but to respect him, but deep down he resents the way he was raised, like the way he might have been treated, because now he has a lot of issues and he has a lot of responsibilities that came from this.
We need to see more before coming with conclusions.
And with his mom, I think it's the hypocrisy of, like, it sounds like his mom and his dad had not a good relationship.
But you know what? It reminds me of what our aunt said at the last family dinner. Yeah. The fact that our own grandmother, since our grandfather died, she always just recalled the good stuff that happened, but not the bad stuff. So maybe the same thing.
Did you say our aunt?
Our aunt?
No. It's Nancy.
Stepmother?
Yeah.
Stepmother then. Sorry.
One of our grandmas recently lost her husband, and when she talks about him, she only recalls the good memories. So, and it's not just her. I know our mom did the same with her dad. It's basically when you lose someone, you start seeing only the good, or you recall only the good. And first, a guy like Tony, who I don't know what his relationship again was with his dad, but if he saw them fighting, if he saw his mom being the strong woman type who would constantly bash his dad, push him down, reject him or something, like put him through hell in some sort of way, because we don't know their relationship, but this is kind of how he described it.
Yeah.
And then, like, if they did that when he was alive, and as soon as he's dead,
it was the reverse.
She suddenly talks about him like he's a saint. It's kind of like, it's a hypocrisy that he's like, you're not coherent, like you're not following a logical train of thought. And she's secluded. She lives alone in that house. She doesn't keep in touch with anyone. She doesn't want to go out. Like, she's paranoid. She'd be a lot better in a retirement home, but her fighting that puts him through a lot of stress because he needs to take care of her. He needs to help her, but she also keeps saying he's not there for her. He wants to get rid of her. Like, it's taxing emotionally, and I think he has a lot on his plate. So, I mean, the first episode being him going to the therapist was a really good idea. I'm a bit like his wife already. I'm thinking, yep, you did good there.
You know what? I think the fact that he dreamed, or the fact that his dick fell off, might be his way of saying that
he feels emasculated.
Yeah, that he lost his manhood. What makes him a man?
But then, since the ducks went away with it, I was wondering if it was something else. But when he talked about how he lost it at first, I was wondering if he associated that with power and strength.
Well,
and losing that meant he felt weak because now he has all those feelings, or at least he always had them, but now he's coming to terms with them a little bit. But it's definitely going to be tough.
You did say the fact that he cannot take care of his mom, or that she blames him for not taking care of her. He doesn't call her, he doesn't come often. Being a man is to be the one in charge of the household, right?
His actual
in a way.
But I mean, especially in movies, we see that often. But Italians are what do you call that? Une famille matriarcale. The mom is in charge. Yeah. So I'm French, you guys. So the mom figure, at least I think, is really important. So I think he's trying to be there for her, but to be told constantly that he's not doing a good job, it kind of hits on his
compared to his father,
his culture, his feelings for her. Like, it's tough because he knows, and we know it's not true. He showed up, he wants her to be at the parties, he's looking out for her, but she's seeing that as an attempt to get rid of her. So yeah, she'd be insulting him. But we have a lot of complex relationships already. There's a lot happening, of course, so we'll need time to see everything, understand everything. But I like what I saw. I like the concept of him talking about what's going on through therapy. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. It's definitely gonna be tough
shows.
to.
Old 90s shows and stuff.
I think it's late 90s because they talked about Skeet Ulrich, so Scream might have come out.
They were talking about the year 2000 on the newspaper with Clinton.
So 1999
or something.
Or 2000, early, yeah. It's before 2001 for sure because World Trade Center was still around. But yeah, it's going to be tough because we definitely know how that generation handles feelings. Not everyone, but that switch from apparently now I need to talk about my feelings. We went through that with our dad, his dad. We know how they are, how they were. We grew up in this environment of you don't talk about this, you keep it inside. The word that was spread around most in our family was, whenever something would happen and we were kids and we would start crying, we were told, stop crying. Why are you crying? There's no point. So basically, stay tough it out. Like we grew up with this and we're the newer generation where it's actually more okay to be like this. But, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see an older guy, kind of like our father, go through that change. Not just him, but everyone else also. In this business especially.
Ooh,
so I'm excited.
It's going to be something.
Yeah. So that's it for episode 1, you guys. Strong beginning. I'm excited for the next one. If you want to see it already, it is on Patreon. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't want to, the next one shall be on YouTube next week.
Yes.
So see you then, guys.
Bye.